Hi book besties, welcome back to my channel. I'm Angel, and as you probably can see by the title, I'm going to say it again for video purposes. We will be reading thrillers for a week. You guys know I love me a good juicy thriller, so I'm excited. I already know we're gonna have the best time. But before we get into the video, I quickly want to thank Everend for sponsoring this portion of today's video. If you don't know what Everend is a subscription-based service that gets you access to millions of both ebooks and audiobooks, and it's all in one place. And Everend offers such a wide variety of genres, and not to mention your new releases, and also they have graphic audiobooks for the fantasy lovers. And you guys know I recently became an ebook reader, especially at night. I love getting cozied up in bed and not having to have a physical book in hand. Everend offering ebooks, game changer. You can unlock 3 premium titles with Everend each month for the same cost of buying one book on other platforms. Everyone gets a free 30-day trial of Everend, meaning you can start reading your premium titles instantly. And if that sounds good to you, make sure you check out the link down in my description. And you guys know I love to have a good audiobook while I'm doing things around the house, so I'll definitely be putting the Everend app to use. Again, big thank you to Everend for sponsoring today's video. Okay, you guys, so I'm gonna have lunch, and then I'll probably pick out the first book that we're gonna read and talk to you guys later. We haven't made an iced coffee together in a long time. I have not made an iced coffee in general in a long time, so it's so good. We are so back. But anyways, let's talk about this book. Okay, I have chosen Mrs. March by Virginia Faito. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I basically chose this book because this is the book club pick, this one. So I just decided to start it now, especially because they have the audiobook on Everend, so it just worked out. But I'm very glad we ended up picking this book because I've never heard of it. Okay, so here's the summary. It says, who is Mrs. March? George March's latest novel is a smash. No one could be prouder than his dutiful wife, Mrs. March, who revels in his accolades, a careful creature of routine and decorum. She lives a precariously controlled existence on the Upper East Side until one morning when the shopkeeper of her favorite patisserie suggests that her husband's latest protagonist, a detestable character named Joanna, is based on Mrs. March herself. Clutching her ostrich leather pocketbook and mate-colored gloves, she flees the shop. What could have merited this humiliation? That one casual remark robbed Mrs. March of the belief that she knew everything about her husband. After that happens, she goes snooping through his things and she finds something, and it's a newspaper clipping about a missing woman. And then she starts thinking, why would he have this? Does he know anything about her disappearance? Then she starts thinking, he's been going on a lot of hunting trips, leaving Mrs. March all alone at night with her tormented thoughts and the cockroaches that have suddenly started to appear. Ew. That's scary. That's probably the spookiest part of this book. And strange breathing noises as she begins to decode her husband's secrets. Her deafening anxiety and fierce determination threaten everyone in her wake, including her stoic housekeeper Martha and her unobtrusive son Jonathan, whom she loves profoundly when she remembers to love him at all. Okay, I didn't even read the description, so that's news to me. Okay, I'm excited to read this. This sounds so good. I made it to chapter 5. I do need to edit, so I may take a little break. Wanted to give you guys a little background information about the book. All the bathroom stuff in the bag. So unaesthetic, but I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm at the library. I'm outside because I wanted to drink my drink. I know we can have drinks in there, but it doesn't have like a lid, and I didn't want them to say anything to me, especially because it's super quiet in there and I know they were gonna hear me pop this baby open. So I'm gonna drink my drink outside. I brought my Kindle and I want to give you guys some book updates. Okay, let's talk about Mrs. March. Mrs. March, she's giving insane. She's giving very much insanity. It's kind of like a mind fuck because she keeps seeing things and I have no idea if it's real or not. She doesn't even know if it's real or not. And listen, with horrors and thrillers, I'm hardly ever scared, but she keeps mentioning cockroaches. When I hear or see bugs of any sort, I get the ick. My skin gets to crawling. I'm scared. I'm frightened. It's getting a bit spooky. I am enjoying the story though. It is kind of weird and she's very paranoid because her husband, he wrote this book with this character named Joanna, and someone said that Joanna is basically her. So she's freaked out that everyone knows about this character. And she had this moment when she was at a restaurant and she went to the restroom and someone was like, Joanna, open up, I know you're in there. No idea if that really happened or not. But she also had another moment where someone called and was like, Joanna, are you there? Is this Joanna? So yeah, it's kind of weird, but I like it. I like it. Okay, you guys, so it is the next day. You guys seen that I started The Coworker by Frida McFadden. Last night I did end up finishing Mrs. March, and we're gonna do the wrap up at the end, especially for this one because I need to get my thoughts together. I'm not sure if I liked it, but like I said, wrap up at the end. But yeah, let's get into The Coworker by Frida McFadden. Frida McFadden, she just does it for me, and I actually have not read any of her books in a while, so I'm hoping she still has the same effect. But whenever I'm in a book slump, she's my go-to. And it's not like she has the best writing, and it's not like her plot twist always makes sense, or it's not like you don't see the plot twist coming sometimes. And then you may be thinking, well then how can you possibly enjoy it? Listen, it's about the journey, okay? A time is always had with Frida. She just does it for me. I don't even know. But this one is a workplace thriller, as you can tell by the title, The Coworker. It says, 2 women, an office filled with secrets, one terrible crime that can't be taken back. So this is about Dawn and Natalie. I'm hoping to have a good time with this one because, like I said, I don't know if I like the last one. So I made it to chapter 2. I spent most of the day editing. So yeah, Natalie has already received a phone call. It was a female voice and she just said, help me. And then the line went dead. Dawn did not show up to work, but she sent out an email to Seth and Natalie about some important information. She wanted to have a meeting, but she has not shown up to work. So yeah, we're gonna dive deeper. We're gonna get us a snack. We're gonna get a nice juicy drink and get to reading. This is actually my first time trying this. Let's do a little taste test. Okay, she's good. Back with some updates. I've made it to page 135, chapter 21. I'm flying through this. I know I said this already, but clearly the writing is not like spectacular, but it's just so readable and bingeable. And I'm loving the back and forth email format back to present day. Looks like that. I think that is so fun. Now for an update, and this is coming from a nosy person. I don't mind being a little nosy, okay? But there's levels to nosiness, okay? I'm like at the bottom level because you will not catch me going out of my way to be nosy, especially because most of the time I just be minding my business. I value minding my business. There is beauty in minding your business. But I say all that to say, Miss Natalie, she has got to calm down because she is just so invested and so worried about Dawn. Mind you, they're not even friends. Granted, she did get a phone call that kind of spooked her, but she went to Dawn's house, broke into her house because there's no one answering the door. Then she starts snooping around, touching everything, and then she finds something. Blood. Lots of it. So then she calls the police. After, once again, she's broken in this girl's house, touched everything, leaving her fingerprints everywhere. Now she's the number one suspect. And she's getting caught up because she's lying. So that's the type of nosiness that gets you in trouble. Do not be that type of nosy. But honestly, most of the characters are suspicious. I trust no one, especially when it comes to Frida McFadden. I don't even trust Dawn, and she's the one missing. I don't trust a soul when it comes to Frida McFadden, or words on a paper, since it's a book. But yeah, I'm having fun. Guys, I just made it to part 2. And if you're not new to Frida McFadden books, when you get to part 2, everything's different, okay? What you thought you knew no longer applies. So we did just find something out. Did I expect it? Kind of. This is when stuff really goes down. Are you guys ready? Am I ready? This is the moment I live for. So I'm ready. Yeah, I have some snacks, a drink. I'm ready. See, I fear I knew this. Wait, because why is this ending kind of wholesome? It's giving forgiveness. It's giving growth and development. It's giving happy ending, happy ever after. I have not read the epilogue yet. I may be speaking too soon, but so far it's giving wholesome. Honestly, period. I don't even know what to say. Honestly, period. And you know what? I learned so much about turtles. Thank you, Dawn. Learned so much. Okay, so I'm about to straighten my hair. I did the whole washing process today. It's been a battle. Washing, blow drying. You guys know. Well, if you know, you know. But today I started the audiobook for We Used to Live Here by Marcus. Don't know how to pronounce the last name. Not going to try, but here it is. And so far it's really good. I'm going to read the description for you. It says, as a young queer couple who flips houses, Charlie and Eve can't believe the killer deal they've just gotten on an old house in a picturesque neighborhood. As they're working in the house, one day, there's a knock on the door. A man stands there with his family, claiming to have lived there years before and asking if it would be all right if he showed his kids around the house. People pleaser to a fault, Eve lets them in. First mistake. But let me keep reading. As soon as the strangers enter their home, inexplicable things start happening, including the family's youngest child going missing and a ghostly presence materializing in the basement. Even more weird, the family can't seem to take the hint that their visit should be over. And when Charlie suddenly vanishes, Eve slowly loses her grip on reality. Something is terribly wrong with this house and with the family visiting. Or is Eve just imagining things? Okay, so I've made it to chapter 3, and I just want to say maybe I'm a bitch because I don't care if you used to live here. You don't live here now. Move along. That's number 1. Second, I wouldn't have even opened the door. I don't open the door for strangers. Hell, I don't even open the door when I order Uber Eats. I have the app setting where they just leave it at the door. I literally look out the window and wait for them to leave until I open the door and get my food. I'm not opening the door for nobody. And also, there is a dog. Yes, there is a dog. Please protect the dog at all costs because I cannot handle anything happening to a little animal baby. Protect that dog at all costs. This is going to be fun. I know it's probably going to be terrifying for poor old Eve, but this is looking like a good time for me. We're definitely going to give this hair a trim because I need it desperately. But yeah, I'm going to straighten my hair. Guys, I don't know if any of these heat protectants are good, but what I'm using, I don't know what I'm doing. You feel it. You feel it. You feel loving this book. I'm loving it. Okay, so weird things have been happening. And did I mention she has like this voice in her head? It's from a toy. I think it was a toy from when she was younger. She lost him. His name was Mo. May Mo rest in peace, even though she thinks he was stolen, so might still be alive and well. As alive as your toy can be. Let's get back on track because what am I saying? Yeah, she hears him in her head, and honestly, he's pretty smart because he keeps her in check. He even told her not to let them in because they will not be leaving if you let the family in. She did not listen. But other than that, Charlie, her partner, has gone missing, and the family have made themselves at home, all up in the kitchen, using all their groceries, stuff like that. And of course, nobody has a cell phone. And I also forgot to mention, it's kind of like an isolated area. The house is pretty isolated itself, but then they ended up getting snowed in, so the family had to sleep over, all of that stuff. No one has a phone. She wants to call Charlie, see, why'd you leave me with these random people? So then she goes to the neighbor house, Heather. And Heather knows Tom because Tom grew up in the house. So Eve decides to stay for some tea, which I don't know, in this predicament, I'd be scared to drink some tea from her. Just anybody really. But she's also spilling the tea about Tom's past. So yeah, we're getting some tea about Tom. I'm really enjoying this. I decided to get it on my Kindle because I can actually sit down and read it now. I'm really tired. Today drained me. Literally me just saying I was tired and now I have all this energy 2 seconds later. What's up with that? Guys, I'm so obsessed with her. Boop. Bye, she is so cute. I have not spoken to you today. How rude. I've been filming for another video, which may or may not be up before this, so yeah. Let's talk about We Used to Live Here. I have like a few chapters left, I think, and something happened in Tom's past, and Eve fears that it's happening to her. It's seeming that way. Okay, she's giving very crazy. We're kind of seeing her go insane. If it is insanity, I mean, she may be actually experiencing this because at this point, I have no idea what's real and what's fake. So we're gonna finish these couple chapters after I shower. Okay, so I just finished this and I still don't know what was real or not. Like, I fear I'm going insane now. Because what? And I'm sorry for the list, but my retainers are in. You guys know the drill. Yeah, I think we're gonna read one more thriller because none of these have really hit the way that I wanted them to hit. Like, I want something outlandish. I want something crazy. I want something diabolical. And you guys know who I'm thinking of? Octavia Grant. Yes, let's go find us an Octavia Grant book because she does the damn thing. Guys, which one? We have Bitter Ex-Wife, Married Men Only, and Body Count. Which one sounds crazy and ridiculous? I think we'll do this one. Honestly, she ate with that. Okay, you guys, it's the next day. I'm getting ready to go to brunch. And this is why I got the basic Kindle, okay? So she can fit in my little handbag. But anyways, I chose the book Married Men Only by Octavia Grant. Girl, Unhinged. First of all, just the premise of the story is unhinged. Brie, I'm only on chapter 2, so I don't know if I have the whole premise down, but she sleeps with married men and get revenge. And you know what? I can't even be mad at them. I can't. Because as a book girly, I can excuse murder, but I cannot excuse cheating and infidelity and homewreckers. Besides BJ Valentine, he gets a pass because I love him in Magnolia, so not too much on BJ, okay? But anyways, my friend, she got into law school, so we're gonna celebrate. And I will be taking the train, so I will be reading my Kindle on the train. Made it finally. Well, at the mall, still walking to the restaurant. I'm late. back home for like a few hours now. The time was had. I got the club sandwich and a strawberry infused margarita. Chef's kiss. Have not yet finished Married Men Only, but I was just reading this, and Briette, she let go of a 10-year friendship for this man. Meanwhile, he brought her a gift from a trip, but come to find out, his wife got the same gift. You know, one thing I can say is karma is that girl. She's gonna show up every time. It says, all I could think after hearing my dad's words were, I did this to myself. And you did. You did. I have no idea what it is about this angle or this lighting. Something's not looking right. Is it my makeup? Anyways, doesn't matter. We are at the end of this vlog. We're about to do our little wrap up. These were the books that we read, which I didn't even realize how much I read on my Kindle because we only have one physical book to talk about, which is why I do TBR takedowns, because you guys know I'm still in the honeymoon stage with my Kindle. So I make it a priority to do TBR takedown, focus on my physical TBR because it's just so convenient. There's so many options. But before anything, let's talk about my thriller rating system, because I rate genres pretty differently. So with thrillers, I focus on my enjoyment overall. Like, I really just want to have a good time. It doesn't really have to make sense to me. The plot twist doesn't have to be this huge thing, as long as I'm enjoying the ride there. Also points if it's bingeable. Usually if I'm not bored, I can get through a thriller really quickly because I just want to see what's going to happen, what's happening, why it's happening. I put on my little detective hat. I look to see if it's actually thrilling, because a lot of the thrillers I've been reading lately have not been very thrilling. I think I'm less into the psychological thrillers. I like watching them. Reading them, on the other hand, I get a bit bored. So I like it to actually be thrilling. So if it's taking me a while to get through, if I'm bored, if it's slow and not very fast paced, if I'm confused, chances are it's getting a low rating. But okay, let's talk about the books that we've read. We started off this video with Mrs. March. What a mindfuck that was. I've always heard the term unreliable narrator, but I never really knew what it meant. But Mrs. March definitely had an unreliable narrator. I still don't know what's real and what's fake. Do I like unreliable narrators? I do not know. Honestly, I still don't know whether I really enjoyed Mrs. March. I don't think I was as engaged as I would like to have been, especially with a thriller. I didn't find it very thrilling, but I did find it a bit creepy, like with the mentioning of bugs, because I get the ick. So it did give me those icky feelings. But yeah, very much insanity. That's all I can say. 2 stars. Not really much to say. I didn't enjoy that much, so 2 stars. And then we have The Coworker by Frida McFadden. Not the best story, kind of predictable, but something about her writing still just draws me in every single time. I kid you not, from the first page, I'm hooked. This was extremely bingeable. I'm sorry if you can hear a car outside. I'm sorry. We're gonna make this quick. So I'm gonna rate this 3 stars. It wasn't my favorite Frida McFadden book, and like I said, it was pretty predictable. At least I wasn't bored. And then we have We Used to Live Here. I enjoyed this book so much. Kind of like Mrs. March with the unreliable narrator. I still do not know what was real and what was not, but at the ending, it kind of like had like an aha moment. You know what I mean? Like, it could be very confusing, but when it clicks, like, you're like, oh my gosh, so that's what's happening, if that makes sense. And it kind of doesn't make sense because I still don't know if I'm right or not. Very much insanity, question mark. I'm gonna rate this book 3.75 stars. I don't know if I'm going to round up. I might round up. I don't know. I had a good time though. And then we have Married Men Only by Octavia Grant. One thing about Octavia Grant, she does Unhinged like no other. I feel like you can always expect a high rating from her. Specifically, like I said with my thrillers, it counts if I'm having a good time. Her books are always a good time. Her books are always fast-paced. If you're looking for amazing writing, you won't find it there. But if you want to have a good time, Octavia Grant. It was just so crazy, so unhinged in the best way possible. Never a dull moment, so you gotta respect it. 4 stars. And I will be reading more. I will. But okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have made it up to this point in the video, you are a real one. But also comment down below this emoji, just because I like to see you watch my videos all the way through. And it's kind of like an inside joke that only the besties know, so leave that down below so I know if her besties or not. Also, before I go, let me know what other genres you guys would like to see me read for a week.